there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I review books and bookish things. I try to upload on alternating Thursdays with some extra videos sprinkled in here and there. Today I have a special treat for y'all. We will be going over the book Motheater by Linda H. Codega. This book was given to me by NetGalley and Kensington Publishing. In exchange for my honest review. All opinions are my own. Who else's would they be? So let's get into it. Okay, so this book comes out on January 21st, 2025, so we've got several months before it comes out. But I just wanted to talk about it because I just finished reading it, and oh my goodness, was it good. From the description on NetGalley, in this nuanced queer fantasy set amid the Appalachian Mountains in Virginia, the last witch of the ridge must choose sides in a clash between industry and nature. After her best friend dies in a coal mine, Benny Maddox sacrifices her job, her relationship, and her reputation to uncover what's killing miners in the higher mountain. When she finds a half-drowned white woman and dirty mine slough, Benny takes her in because it's right, but also because she hopes this odd, magnetic stranger can lead her to the proof she needs. Instead, she brings more questions. The woman called Motheater can't remember her true name or how she ended up inside the mountain. She only knows that she's a witch of Appalachia, bound to Tor and Holler, Possum and Snake, with power in her hands and scripture on her tongue. But it's a mystery of her fate, her doomed quest to keep the industry off Kyre Mountain, and the promises she bent and broke have followed her for half a century into the future. And now, the choices of Motheater and Benny could change the face of the town itself. This book is 416 pages. It'll be at major retailers for $28 USD. And I have my notes here. I gave this one a solid 4 stars. It's really good. There were a couple places where it could have been a little better, but all in all, it was thoroughly enjoyable. It was very fast-paced. It was very frenetic, that there was a lot of movement feeling, that there were high stakes. It felt like everything had a purpose for being there and a reason for you to keep going. So I have in my notes, Motheater is a witch out of her own time. Benny is looking to get an evil mining corp to shut down. Themes I have, like it said, anti-industrial, pro-nature themes that they talk about strip mining and cutting the tops off of mountains to get at the coal inside, and all these things and the devastation they have on natural resources. And Motheater, her powers come from the natural world. So while she's trying to discover her true name to get her powers back, she's just horrified at the things that we take as progress, the things we take for granted, being there, and how cut off we are from the natural world now. This one does, like I said, it has multiple POV. You go back and forth between Motheater's true name in the past, in her time, and Benny in the present, and Motheater in the present, and you kind of switch between them. This is where I felt the writing could have been a little better, because they don't feel different enough, and at the same time they don't feel the same enough. Let me explain. So Benny doesn't feel different enough from Esther and Motheater. Like, it feels kind of the same there. But where Motheater and Esther are, they should feel the same because they're the same person. But they don't. And you could say, well, that's a choice, and yes, it is a choice, but they don't feel different enough for it to feel like an intentional choice. And they don't feel the same enough. It's hard to explain, but a couple of times I had to scroll back and double check whose chapter I was on, especially between Motheater and Benny, just because the word choices were similar, because one of Motheater's powers, the one that she gets her assumed name from, is that the spirits of the people who died in the Appalachian Mountains come to her on the wings of moth and tell her their last memories, their last thoughts. And so she's from the 1880s, right? But she doesn't, but somehow she knows about Kodak moments and microwaves. So she knows little glimmers of things that were important to people, but she doesn't know enough about anything to understand that she knows it. And as a result of her listening to all of these spirits on the backs of moths, all these souls on the backs of moths, her language isn't the same as it is in her time. Okay, that makes sense. She's picking up on slang. She's picking up on language differences, things like that. Language has changed. But she feels comfortable with the language. It's written as though she feels comfortable with these changes. And I feel like she really shouldn't. There were a little bit of the characters and making them different and intentional that didn't fully mesh. It didn't fully click for me. All in all, it's gripping, it's thrilling, the ending is phenomenal. Like, the ending is honestly what gives this book 4 stars over 3 stars. If it had had a different ending, it would have been a 3-star book. If it had had more defined characters in their narration, it would have been a 5-star book. But as it is no other way than it is, it's a 4-star book. I highly recommend it. It's really, really good. I enjoyed it. I found it fascinating. It's a quick read, even though it's 416 pages. I read through it fairly quickly. I read the first third of it while waiting for my doctor, which, what's up with doctors making us wait that long? And then the rest of it I read while I was on a dog sit, over the course of less than a week. Like, I was there a full week and I finished it in the first 3 days and got to read other things, which is always nice. Again, I highly recommend this book. It comes out on January 21st, 2025. Motheater by Linda H. Codega. Please go check out this book. It's really good. We need more fantastical writing. Like, this is good writing. It could be better. And I feel like if we give the author some love and some room to grow, we'll get it. So, are you interested in reading Motheater? What books are you excited for that are coming out? I've got a video coming out next week about some book hauling that I did, some new releases that I pre-ordered that I finally got in, and some books that I bought new and used. So let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And again, thank you to NetGalley and Kensington Publishing. All opinions were my own. Bye.